Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for our WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 Roundtable review. We're going to be breaking down all the action from last night's WWE Premium Live event. I am here, as always, with the right-hand man, the face and the ace of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon.
What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing today?
We're doing fabulous. Good morning to everyone. If you're in the US, good afternoon. If you're in the UK, like me. And we have with us a special person for one of our roundtable reviews. He's got the day off today, so he's joining us here to talk about last night's WWE Premium Live event. Three-time baby making champion. This is Ness.
True Hills, what's the deal? Was a all right show last night. And yes, I'm off from work today. Thought I'd put in some work with my good brothers here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel.
Appreciate you joining us so we can have a real roundtable instead of like the small roundtable that we had last time for WrestleMania Backlash with just me and Romeo. But yes, we want to hear of you, and we appreciate anyone who is joining us live, anyone watching us on demand on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, Facebook, or Twitter. Of course, if you want to show your appreciation back, drop a thumbs up on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. If you're watching us on Facebook, drop a heart, drop a like, drop a laugh, an angry emoji. However, WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 made you feel, let us know with those emotes. And of course, if you're watching us on Twitter, remember to retweet, drop a comment, or let us know what you think by dropping that heart on this video as well. And of course, in the live chat, we want to hear from all of you, your thoughts on WWE Hell in a Cell 2022. Let us know in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible with your super chat donations. Helps the channel grow, helps out all the contributors of the channel, and of course, it makes sure that we highlight your comment on screen. We got Film Nation here with us early saying, let's go. He's ready to go. Slamming Sammy Joe says, I'm still thinking about that pedigree. Cody finally did it. Yes, we will talk about that main event that everyone is talking about in the wrestling world from every single promotion. If you've been seeing the tweets, CM says SP3 is never coming back to the US. I am eventually.
Never.
Shit, if you didn't, I wouldn't blame you. Just fucked up over here, man.
I'm pretty sure I'm coming back, people. DJ Eric says, sup, Romeo, SP3, and Ness. We got Nick Jackson who says, hey, Ness, pot heels, mount up. We also got Bonkers LFC saying, hey to you as well. And we got Frantic World saying, what's up, SP3, Ness, Romeo, and chat. And Annika's here with us. She spotted me in the Wrestle Talk podcast live chat. So glad to see you over here as well, Annika. But yes, I usually, if I'm here with like Romeo, or if I'm here with like Jimmy on a ramble, or last week I was here with Jimmy and Tempest for Double or Nothing. I asked one word for you to describe last night's pay-per-view premium live event. If you're WWE Hell in a Cell 2022, one word to describe it in your own words. Ness.
Decent.
That's fair. That is fair. Romeo.
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. That's what we are. We got you, my boy Blue, here with us saying good morning. And yes, let's get into it. We'll start from the top because people usually complain if I start at the main event because they're like, man, what are you going to talk about the main event? But I'll start at the top this time. We kicked off the show from Chicago, Illinois.
They get everything.
Chicago deserves everything. That's what they say. That's what they say in Chicago. They kicked off things with one of the matches I was looking forward to, just on the quality alone, the triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. It was Bianca Belair defending against the former champion Becky Lynch and Asuka. Becky Lynch coming out looking like a villain from Back to the Future 2, with the cool little mask with the different mirrors. That was pretty cool. Asuka had some nice entrance attire herself. Bianca Belair had brand new gear. Did you see that? Like no
A
long pants.
plus.
Had
A
the shorts.
plus.
I give it a thumbs up.
It was a great night for shorts.
Who wears shorts? All three got good reactions. I think Becky Lynch was the only one that got like a mixed reaction from the Chicago crowd. And these ladies just went at it. They went and they go, and the Chicago crowd was right behind them the entire way. Asuka jumped off Bianca's back at one point and caught Becky with a drop kick. We had Belair kept going for the KOD with Asuka, and Becky kept escaping. Asuka had a fun little spot where she got a double ankle lock. I don't think I've seen that. Maybe since like Kurt Angle and like his TNA days, maybe he was able to do that. But this Chicago crowd loved this matchup. Asuka just was on the money. She hit like 2 spinning back fists and then a series of kicks and then a release German suplex to Becky that got a brief "This is awesome" chant. They got another "This is awesome" chant when Asuka hit the I think it was the recall on Belair and Lynch at the same time. We got all this, some great near falls towards the end, manhandle slam for a close 2 on Bianca here. And then in the end, the finish saw Becky finally hit the manhandle slam on Asuka. She had the match won, and throughout this match, Becky kept throwing others out of the ring to get pinfalls. And finally, the fate turned on her as Bianca threw Becky out of the ring, got the pinfall herself. It's a WWE triple threat. You know how the finish is going to be. But my, oh my, they were able to break this down. It wasn't like a crazy triple threat that had a lot of 3-way sequences. That's what I look for more triple threats. But as far as like a triple threat, a WWE style of 2 singles matches in one, this was fantastic. These ladies delivered. Bianca Belair successfully retaining the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch was none too pleased. I gave this 4.25 stars, an excellent way to kick off the show. What did you think, Ness?
I gave it 4.25 stars. Like, kicked the show off great, got the crowd hype, which the crowd was pretty much live throughout the whole show. All these ladies added something to the match. Bianca with her power, Asuka with her striking, like those spinning back fists was on point. And Becky with the just the conniving and cunningness. You know, she actually played up pretty smart. At first I was going to go with 4, but going on to it with the finish, I definitely have to give it that quarter because they finally booked a babyface to do something smart. We know how WWE doesn't book their babyfaces to the best of their abilities. I said this on the stream last night. It was smart for Bianca to say, hey, Becky took advantage of this. Let me take advantage of that. The whole story, just like you said, she was trying to throw people off and, you know, get those pins, and it didn't work. So then it just came back to bite her in the ass. Bianca said, hey, you're going to do the extra work and I'm going to take the easy route. That's pretty fucking smart. Don't work harder, work smarter. So yeah, these ladies, man, it was a great match. I can't praise it any more than that. They all came, they all brought it. They had on their working boots, you know, and the Chicago crowd received it very well. So kudos to all of them. 4.25.
Romeo?
I told you on the preview show that I penciled this in for at least 4.25 stars, as well as the Hell in a Cell match. At least. If they could do better than that, great. And this was, I gave it exactly that, 4.25 stars. This lived up to my expectations. They got almost 19 minutes. A lot of good near falls at the end. You know, Becky was trying to get those cheap victories with the roll-ups and throwing people outside and trying to get the pin that way. At first, watching it live, I did have a little bit of a problem with, like, you know, Bianca getting that cheap win, if you want to call it cheap, after someone else's finisher as a babyface. But I understand now, looking back on it, that was the story of the match. You know, Becky was trying to do that shit, and turnabout is fair play. She gave it right back to Becky. So I understand. And also, you know, I guess it still opens the door if you want to have a serious match with Bianca and Asuka with a decisive finish. We still don't have that. you could still do that, and of course, you could still do Becky Bianca again because Becky wasn't involved in the finish. But this was a treat, and mad respect to all the ladies here.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the finish of Cody versus Seth 2 at WrestleMania Backlash, where Cody had the handful of tights, where the heel kept doing something, and the babyface was smart enough to be like, hey, if you're going to do that, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it better than you. So I think that the finish worked. I think that all three ladies came out of here looking better than they went in. To answer Bonkers LFC's question, saying, what does it do for Asuka after she got pinned? I think she loses nothing, because honestly, she was through the middle portion of this matchup. I thought Asuka came off the best. She just was on the money. Everything she was doing was on point. Her strikes were stiff. Her movements in the ring, the sequences that she was performing were on point, and she made Becky and Bianca look great.
And also,
got to go into her bag of tricks. She still didn't use the mist.
Yeah.
Yes,
and it's WWE. She could she got pinned last night. Could be number one contender tonight on Raw. Yeah. So
that's a good point.
Anything on this show could be a rematch tonight. Anything on this show could be a rematch tonight.
Absolutely. We got Andrew who says great opening. This is Brooklyn Bleak saying this is the only use Vince sees for Kanasaka. Nice combination of her old name and current name there. Bonkers LFC says, I know we're getting more of Becky feud. I think we are. I think that the finish leans into that with Becky Lynch. She's gonna get more crazy due to being, in her eyes, robbed. And I think they're gonna run back Bianca and Becky at SummerSlam. What do y'all think?
I can see that. Yeah. I wonder who gets put in the Money in the Bank match. I think Asuka probably get in there. Will we have a women's title match at Money in the Bank?
I think Alexa might get the shot at Money in the Bank.
I don't know if they want to do that yet, because they love Alexa.
Yeah,
like when they do that, Alexa might win. You know, her. You got to think about her. You got to think about Rhea Ripley being built up to dethrone Bianca. Those are like my top two to dethrone her.
Yeah, I just think
I can definitely see Rhea. Yeah, especially with her being with Judgment Day and Edge. He's the ultimate opportunist, one of the people that made the cash-ins famous. So I can definitely see that.
I can see Rhea in Money in the Bank for that reason.
Yeah,
so
winning it.
So I could, I can see her winning Money in the Bank. So I don't think they're gonna go to that match, Rhea and Bianca, so soon at SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam, it seems to me they're doing SummerSlam Becky and Bianca based on the finish here, and because they protected that matchup. They did every type of singles matchup between these three ladies except for that one for a reason. Yeah. So next,
SummerSlam in Bianca's home state, right? Yeah.
Yes. Tennessee. Yep. So there's a lot to go with there. And, based on what they've done with WrestleMania Backlash and Hell in a Cell, we might not get more than one women's match outside of the Money in the Bank and a title match. And I think at Money in the Bank, they're going to do Ronda versus Shayna. That just makes too much sense to me.
Please.
It's International Fight Week. You got two of the MMA 4 horsewomen. It just makes too much sense to do that there. And then they're going to do the Money in the Bank. I think Bianca will probably have the pay-per-view off.
You willing to guarantee I get Shayna Ronda or no?
No, not at all. Not at all. I can't predict this company. I can't predict this company. In the back, Cedric Alexander approached MVP and Omos. Alexander tried coming up with a strategy for their handicap match, and MVP, sounding like me, told him the Hurt Business isn't getting back together because he disappointed him too many times. Let that shit go. Like, that's what I've been saying for months. People have been telling me, oh, I hope to bring the Hurt Business back together. Like, they haven't ruined that shit enough for you. Jesus. I swear to God. The Hurt Business and the Bullet Club. I need WWE fans to give that shit up. Give both of them shits up. Stop. Omos told Alexander to leave, and that went into the handicap match. I will say this had the best pre-video match with MVP's rap about Bobby Lashley. That was just great. It was great. Listen, it was better than the match.
That the material is great, but MVP does not have a voice for rapping. My God, clear your throat, please. He sounded like Shine.
He did sound like Shine. He sounded like Shine in prison. Not even Shine when he was out. Oh man, that's awesome. But yes, we had the handicap match, Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. This was at least better than I thought it was, but it wasn't like it was a Raw match, basically. It was a good Raw match, though. So yeah, we had the as Ness put it on Twitter, the safest barricade crash you have ever seen in your life, where where Omos just shoved Bobby Lashley into the barricade and it broke. The crowd popped for that, though. They got.
It's
like,
funny because if you did it the reverse way, like Lashley don't give a fuck. He's gonna spear your ass.
Yeah, he would. Yeah,
exactly.
Lashley would have tried to go right through him.
Lashley did beat the 10 count to get back in the ring. MVP was in firm control until Lashley knocked Omos off the apron, and then he speared MVP, but Omos broke up the pin. Omos went for the choke slam on Bobby Lashley, but then Cedric Alexander jumped in the ring, and he actually helped out Bobby Lashley. Omos caught him and threw him out of the ring, though, because he's Cedric Alexander. And Lashley speared Omos, and then he caught MVP with the hurt lock for the submission win. The fans were very excited for this. And then after the match, Bobby Lashley was told by the referee, go out the ring and grab that title. And he grabbed a replica WWE championship from one of the fans, and he held it up to a huge pop. And the announcers talked about Bobby Lashley most likely being next in line for a shot at the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. What did you think about this handicap match? I gave this 2.5 stars. Like I said, it was better than I expected. What did you think, Romeo?
I gave it the same thing, but that doesn't mean I cared for it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alexander, it's groan inducing. Like, can they not find anything else for this man to do? Does everything need to be about the Hurt Business and bringing it back? Like, that's all this guy has ever thrown into. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. And even Lashley, backstage later on, I know you'll get into it, but, he runs into him backstage. He's like, don't ever interfere in my matches ever again. And they fist bump it like, oh, all right, cool.
He's like, all right, no problem. And I'm thinking the whole time when he said it to him, I'm like, Cedric gonna get involved in one of his matches again, or they are just setting up them to bring back the Hurt Business just to feud with the Bloodline.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Judgment Day.
But
yeah, that too.
Please no. Yeah, that too, probably. Yeah.
I don't know why we need a distraction, outside interference when you have MVP there to take the L anyways. Like, I don't get it, but the crowd loved Bobby Lashley. My goodness. And he soaked that in. He milked it for everything it was worth, every single second. He was like, come on, I can't hear you. And, now with what happened to Cody Rhodes, Lashley's in prime position. I mean, he was already listed as the number one babyface on their memo sheets, but
for some reason
just puts it over the top. Yeah, now there's no debate for however long Cody's going to be out. Yeah, Lashley gets a chance to ascend, and judging by the crowd's reaction, it'll work.
The Chicago crowd was great, and they definitely were behind Bobby Lashley here. Ness, what did you think about the handicap match?
Yeah, unanimous. I gave it 2.5. The best thing about this match was MVP's diss track in the beginning, which after I watched it again this morning, which aside from his voice, it was actually pretty decent. I'm not even gonna lie. I enjoyed it. Called him the Fall Mighty.
Bars.
Yeah, he had some bars. Yeah, also the reception that Lashley got after the match, the crowd was going crazy for him. So Vince is to take anything from that, and seeing how, not even just the Chicago crowd, probably even the people at home, they're behind Lashley, obviously. So, if he's looking for that next guy to have in place, with Cody potentially being out, it definitely should be Lashley, far as Monday Night Raw goes. But yeah, the in between the actual match, it was what it was. I should have known that Lashley would have won because MVP was there. He was going to be the one to take the fall. I'm thinking, hey, we got 7 foot whatever Omos, he can take out Lashley, which he hasn't done on his own. But there's also
this man is supposed to be a giant. He's supposed to be their next big star. He
it's
can't
a
beat
giant
Lashley at
disappointment.
anything. He lost at WrestleMania. He only won at WrestleMania Backlash because of MVP. He lost in an arm wrestling match, lost in a steel cage match. Then he has a handicap match in his favor and he loses. Oh, it's over for Omos. I'm convinced it's over.
I think that's probably why they got him away from AJ. They're like, all right, AJ, you've done enough. We're gonna stick him with MVP now and see how that works out. But yeah, 2.5. It was what it was. The best part was this track, and then the love the crowd gave to Bobby.
Man, and all I'm gonna say is that Omos is lucky he's got a couple of inches because, excuse me, pause. But Harlan, man, Harlan got cut because he wasn't improving in the ring, and I haven't seen any improvement for Omos. So he's lucky he's that tall, because if he wasn't that tall, I think he'd be getting a call pretty soon.
They need to dig up his past, see if he's done any offensive tweets or anything like that, or find something bad that he said. Then they could really fire his ass.
That's what they're probably searching. Like,
how can we get rid of this guy, pal?
How are we gonna get rid of him? What's gonna be our reasoning? Good morning, Hassan. Thank you for joining us. We got Brooklyn Bleak, who is just very bleak on Omos, saying that he is going to be the longest reigning 24/7
See what you did there
ever. Congrats. Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what they do with him now. Like,
I'm sad for the man. Hector said Omos to get cut, ? No, I think because he's that tall, they keep him around, but it's just like, what are you gonna do with him now? They basically in record time have gone from Great Khali in 2007 to Great Khali of 2010. Like this is record time. This man has only been with the company 2 years, or only been on the main roster for 2 years, and they have already reverted him to, I think they're going to give him a gimmick where he's the sexy giant.
Oh God.
The sexy Nigerian giant.
I can see
you can't do dancing because that's already taken on SmackDown. Can't do dancing.
By the skyscraping Shanky. And he can't even be a skyscraper. He's taller. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Ah, man.
Remember, Omos can rap.
This is true. He'll probably have a
That's gonna be next.
So he's gonna get the hit row gimmick, all for one person.
Boom, bingo! There it is. Him and MVP gonna be a rapping duo. They're gonna be the black. They're gonna be the black PG-13.
John Cena returns to show him how to really rap.
We're coming up with better ideas than what they got. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all. We got you, my boy Blue says, put him back in his ninja costume and put him back with Akira Tozawa. God damn. Y'all are brutal in the chat today. Brooklyn Bleak saying W. Morrissey left Impact and WWE was interested in him again. Yeah, Omos is going to be served up to him real quick.
I can actually see that happening.
I'll take it.
Yeah, Morrissey looks great. He comes back, looks way better than he ever did in WWE. So they're going to need that dominant force to put him over.
Nah, man, Hector. Shinky's not already doing the sexy giant gimmick. He's doing the dancing giant gimmick. He's not like R. Kelly R&B singer. He's like a Chris Brown R&B singer.
Two guys you don't want to be compared to. For the worst reasons. You could be
a wife beater, or you could be a child molester. I mean, what can you do? This is already off the rails. Nicely done. Next, the commentary team, they discussed Cody's pectoral injury again. They stressed that Seth didn't cause the injury and that he was injured in the pull-apart brawl. I was like, well, then he did cause the injury. What are you talking about here? Right. But they then said that it was injured in the pull-apart brawl, and then it was completely torn as he was working out. And what was your thoughts? Like, well, I'll just say, like, midway through when they're stressing it, I was like, oh man, they're making this a work. It's probably not that bad. I did not expect what we were gonna see later
You
on.
could tell they were trying to own it. Like,
Yeah,
they try to own everything. Like, this happened under us, not under Cody. Like, yeah, it's like, come on. They very carefully worded and crafted how the explanation was.
Vince wrote that down and was reading it in the headpiece to Jimmy Smith for sure. Next we had Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel. I will say I've really enjoyed this feud, but this was exactly what I thought was going to happen here, where no one really cared what happens when the bell rang. The fans were very quiet for most of this. They did pop for the finish. Ezekiel early on looked like he was going to surprise Owens. He had a jumping knee at the bell. He followed with the elbow drop off the top rope. Shades of the Macho Man Randy Savage. The fans broke into a very light Zeke chant at that point. Owens controlled the middle portion of this match until Ezekiel made a comeback. He rolled him up out of the stunner. He kept trying to go for the stunner KO, and then Ezekiel rolled him up for a 2 count. Ezekiel went to the top rope for another elbow drop, but Owens cuts him off. He hits 2 super kicks and a cannonball in the corner, and then hits the stunner for the win. The fans popped for the finish and cheered Owens very loudly. And poor Ezekiel, as Owen said into the camera after the stunner, Elias, he's Elias. I gave this one 2.25 stars. Owens was really good, but this is the issue with Ezekiel, with Elias Sampson. He is over as a character. He is over on the mic, but in the ring, fans don't seem to care. What did you think, Ness?
Yeah, I gave this match 3 stars. It worked for me because I didn't really expect much out of it. As far as, like you said, Ezekiel isn't like spectacular in the ring, but he had that I guess like the babyface essence. The crowd was somewhat behind him just because like they're all going along with this whole Ezekiel Elias thing, and Owens was there. He made the best of what he can do, what he could work with. He's one of the best in the world, in my opinion, and he had his working boots on for this match. So for Elias, I'm just gonna keep doing it. So for Ezekiel when he needed to. So yeah, like as you can see, I'm a huge fan of Kevin Owens. So he's saying it's Elias. But now he sold for Ezekiel the way he needed to. Got his shit in. I didn't think he was going to win this match. Honestly, I thought they were going to feed him to Ezekiel to big up the whole, Kevin Owens is crazy. It's really Ezekiel. It's not Elias. It's not his brother. It's not this guy that says he wants to be tag team partners with his brother. But yeah, 3. I gave it 3 stars, and I'm honestly being generous about it. I can definitely go lower, but it just seemed like the crowd was somewhat into it, was somewhat not once the bell started and the match was actually going. But yeah, I'll give it 3. And that's just being nice.
Romeo.
We said on the watch along that Ezekiel looks like a mix between Randy Savage and Ultimate Warrior, because like the Ultimate Savage.
Yeah.
I thought this match exceeded all expectations, which weren't that much to begin with. I gave it 3 stars as well. That's mostly thanks to Kevin Owens. He got the most out of Ezekiel. Ezekiel is much better than Elias. He's younger. He's still very young. This is his first big singles pay-per-view match for Ezekiel. The potential is there for Ezekiel. You could see it. Yeah, I'm surprised with the clean finish for KO. I figured an L would make him more enraged. They want to continue the storyline. Maybe we're heading to multiple matches. I don't really want to see it, but we'll see.
Well,
I hope
honestly, I hope not, because you got the win, so you don't need to. Yeah, leave it alone.
But he's still going to be annoyed. Like, he's solved nothing. He's still Ezekiel.
Well, the victory should have just said he's Elias. I don't care what he does now. He can go on his way. He's Elias in my eyes, and I beat Elias. That's what it should be for Kevin Owens. There's no reason to continue this on Owens' part, in my opinion.
You would hope not. You would hope not.
Yes, I definitely would hope not. I like Kevin Owens. Next we had the 6-person tag team matchup of Judgment Day, Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. Bull Liv Club. Ugh. The band cheered for everyone during their entrance, including Judgment Day. All 6 faced off in the middle of the ring and started with like a brawl. And then everyone kind of got their little like highlight segments here. The match started off with Styles, Balor, and Morgan doing a triple team where they launched Morgan in the air and she caught Ripley with a Hurricane Rana in a very nice spot. Ripley took over with a vicious headbutt to Liv Morgan. Really, the ladies, I would say, were the MVPs of this match. They were really going at it. Morgan and Ripley. You had Edge kind of didn't seem all there. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the time off between pay-per-views, but he didn't seem like he brought his A game here. Damian Priest was really good. Finn Balor was Finn Balor. AJ Styles was really good, but he got split open later on in the match when he got thrown into the steel steps on the outside. He had a nice little phenomenal forearm before that on Edge that got a near fall until Priest pulled him out of the pulled him out of the ring, and then the action broke down. AJ hit a phenomenal forearm on Priest in a brutal looking spot. Edge tossed Styles out of the ring through the turnbuckles, and that's when the doctors checked on him because he was split open. And the finish saw Finn Balor set up for the coup de grace on Edge, but Ripley stood in his way. Morgan jumped on Ripley's back, and they went out to the outside. Edge then avoided the coup de grace and hit the spear for the win to give Judgment Day a victory in their whole form. I love the attires of Judgment Day matching, especially Rhea Ripley's.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley. Love the matching attire for the baby faces as well. I gave this 3.5 stars. I thought this was really good for what it was. A lot of good spots and a good 6-person tag team match here. Romeo?
I gave it 3.5 stars too. I agree with you about the gear. I guess when you're a heel, you could show more tattoos, which is what Rhea Ripley was doing. All her tattoos. This was fun. What I expected. They got 16 minutes. They didn't go too long. The right team won, and they won decisively. No need. There wasn't a need to debut a new member. Put over Judgment Day as a legitimate threat here, and that's what they did. The Liv dive to the outside was a little scary. She almost got caught up there, almost died. AJ being looked at by the docs outside was concerning at first. Thankfully, it was just a cut to the head. I thought it was a lot worse watching it live. And yeah, I mean, good effort from everybody. It'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Also, because this is another feud that should probably end. But what are we gonna get next for Judgment Day?
I mean, they gotta find a new direction. I think a good move would be Edge being in Money in the Bank, saying that he's gonna recapture his old glory and win the Money in the Bank. He's one of the most people that is known for the Money in the Bank contract. So I think that would make sense. And have Ripley.
And you should also put Priest in there to like help him.
That too, you could do that. Yeah, that is a good idea. They're gonna need bodies because I think the plan was for Cody to be in this, but that ain't happening now. Ness, what did you think?
That's true. Yeah, I gave it 3.5. I was surprised by Liv out of everybody. I didn't think she would be able to keep up with the rest of her team and the Judgment Day as well, but she definitely showed up. Both teams look great. I also like the matching gear for both teams. Definitely was a huge fan of Rhea Ripley's new attire. But yeah, they went out there. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. The Chicago crowd got a treat out of this match, and the right team won. I also, again, I like the fact that it was Rhea that stopped Finn from hitting the coup de grace. I don't know why I do. I'm thinking that it has something to do with hopefully going forward towards the Money in the Bank for the women for her. Maybe like Edge can say like, hey, I really appreciate it, and like they go with a storyline for that, but they push her in that direction to follow.
It made Rhea look like a badass too.
Yeah, that too as well. So I mean, she's already towering over fucking Finn anyway, so it made it look believable as well. But yeah, 3.5. This is another one of my favorite matches on the card.
Absolutely, some really good stuff here. I would say this was like This was one of the better matches, especially in this middle portion. This was the highlight of the middle portion
Yes.
of the show. This was really one of those WWE bookmark matches, but this one is, if you're going to watch any match from the middle portion, it would be this. They recap Bobby Lashley defeating Omos and MVP earlier. In the back, we had the segment that we talked about earlier with Lashley approaching Cedric. Alexander noted he interfered in Lashley's match for himself, not for Lashley. He was just standing up for himself. Lashley appreciated that, but told him to not get involved in his matches again, and they were friendly to each other. Hurt Business coming back. Coming back. You wanted
setting
it.
up another Lashley squash of Cedric Alexander coming your way. Another one.
Nah, I think it's Omos. Omos going to get his heat back by squashing Cedric.
Maybe both. Both take turns. Have fun.
Absolutely.
Where's
Nego
Shelton?
Buck. I don't know. I'm wondering. Did he get?
It's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
I think
he's injured.
I hope it's something, understandable. Nick Jackson saying really good match, talking about Judgment Day versus Bullet Club. Everyone worked really well together. Christopher Ryan Cooper saying Liv is getting better every match she's in. I will say, yeah, she was the MVP of the match.
She's getting better. It started with the feud with Becky. Becky brought out the best of her. And you got to give her credit. Getting better.
Yep. And drunk guy JJ's in the chat, and he's telling us Shelton was injured. So thank you for that. Thank you, Bonkers.
Well, I said it first, but okay.
Yeah, it's okay. They recapped Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin's feud, and then we got our no holds barred match between Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin. I will say, Happy Corbin, for all the bad I've said about him, and I agree with Dutch Mantel, who once said he wants Happy Corbin to get a push right off a plane. But I will say he plays
with a parachute.
He plays an excellent heel, because he was smart here, going under the ring to get steel chairs, and then the fans are chanting for a table, and he pulled the table out and then pushes it back into a course of booze. Corbin hits a yes, exactly. Corbin hits a choke slam on a chair at one point on Moss. The fans booed because he grabbed the chair and not the table again. We get the "We won table" chant, and even Madcap had to talk about it when he eventually gets on the offense and starts wailing on Corbin with steel chair shots. He says, like, it's not a table, but I'm gonna whoop his ass. So he hits him with the
that was good impersonation.
And he does a fall away slam into the steel steps, and then finally he gets the real revenge on Corbin. He puts his head inside the chair and he pulmonizes him with the steel steps to get his revenge and to give Corbin a neck contusion, as the medical team said. And then Madcap Moss gets the victory here. This was a match. I gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah.
What about you, Des?
That's exactly how I feel. It was a match. It was a match. Madcap got the win that he needed to, and that's that.
I love how we have nothing much to say about this match.
Because that's how it felt. Like, it's just it was here. It was there.
It was a match. It was a match. It was there.
I gave it 2 3/4. I find it hilarious that Pat McAfee had the night off. Come on, that's because SmackDown had one match. Shut the hell up.
No, Pat McAfee has the night off, so I'm here with Corey Graves.
Listen, the Moss presentation is much better. It still needs some work. He still looks so plain. And this damn crowd. Ugh. I've never went to a wrestling event and been so obsessed with tables that I just block out everything else that happens until I get them. What the fuck is wrong with you fans? Will you stop?
But to be fair though, you would think that either in this match, because I was like, okay, they established that if you get the table, you're gonna get a big pop now because these fans want tables. So I was like, okay, happy. Madcap Moss is probably gonna get a table here. And then when they did it, I was like, okay, they'll wait for the main event to get the babyface pop here, and they'll know to give it to the babyface. but we'll talk about that. But continue.
Babyface might have been too hurt to set up that damn table. This wasn't bad, but I'm still not a believer in Moss as some people are. And the crowd booing him because he didn't use a table was hilarious. Not good. Not good for a babyface you're trying to get over.
Nope. We got dehydrotestosterone, who says Barry Corbin is kind of stale though. I want them to call him Barry Corbin now. You may have gave us the new variant of Corbin, Barry Corbin.
Corbin should be off TV for a while now, please.
Yeah,
give me a little break.
Comes back as Barry Corbin and he loses his smile. He ain't happy no more.
Because that was the best version.
That's when he was the most entertaining.
Bum ass Corbin was his most entertaining variant.
There you go.
100%.
Bum ass Corbin.
Bum ass Corbin. Christian Ryan Cooper saying, bro, I love how all Matt Moss's chair shots are old school and real stiff. Those chairs bend on Happy's dumbass. There you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And Annika says, why couldn't they let Moss get a table? That would be the extra babyface push he needs. Yeah, it would have been nice, but I was like, no, they're gonna save it for the main event, and the babyface will pull out the table. WWE. Next we had they aired a Money in the Bank commercial, and then we had our semi-main event for the United States Championship. Theory defending against Mustafa Ali. Ali was introduced as Chicago's own Ali. I thought our pick was looking good when they introduced him as Chicago's own Ali, and the gear. I was like, and they noted that his wife, his kids, and his friends were in attendance. And I'm just thinking, I was like, in your house when the Creed's parents was in the front row,
yes,
and they showed them, they had them win the titles. So I was like, okay, they're gonna do well by Mustafa Ali. Like they brought him back for a reason, right?
White privilege.
This match was good, but it's not anything I wouldn't see on like episode of Monday Night Raw. Theory, got to show his power. He got a nice little Spanish fly off the second rope that he usually does. Ali fought back. He climbed to the top, but Theory cut him off. Theory went for the 8-count down, but Ali reverses into an STF to a huge pop, but Theory worked his way to the ropes. Ali hit the tilt-a-whirl DDT in the ropes. He climbed to the top. The fans were buzzing as Ali climbed up, and he jumps off for the 450, and Theory moves and he misses, and Theory hits a chop block, follows up with the 8-count down for the win, and the fans erupted in boos because Ali lost in his goddamn hometown. What is this? Why? What type of build up to this? This man lost every single match in the build up to this match and then loses in his hometown? Are we freaking serious? I mean, I'll grade the match in a vacuum. In a vacuum, it's 3.25 stars, but like the booking is like a negative 3.25 stars. Like this booking made no sense. To Ness.
Yeah, so I gave it 3.25 stars as well. It was a good match. So following your idea of he's been through so much shit. Speaking of Ali, why would he return for this? It has to be an end game for this. He's going to get the United States Championship. So that's what I was going for in this match. But, oh, buddy, I should have known better. I like the comparison that Romeo did between, the Creed brothers families were in the crowd. They bigged that up. So, of course, when they won, it was a special thing. Now, what I forgot about with Ali, they're going to embarrass this man because he asked for his release publicly. So I think that this is just another layer of that being stacked on top of other layers of them just publicly humiliating him until they feel like they want to release him or his contract runs out. Like, who knows? But the crowd was obviously, it was behind him, his hometown. He went out there, put on a hell of a show, a good match between the two of them. But yeah, I feel bad for the guy. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Just let him go. But he did the one rule that you shouldn't do. Don't ask for your release publicly. They're not going to grant you it 9 times out of 10. They're going to do it. They're going to put you through some shit. Then you'll get it eventually. But he's doing what he needs to do right now. Is just going to suck it up until he's no longer there. But 3 1/4. It was a good match. I should have used my WWE brain on this.
Yeah, me too. I was too optimistic. We were both too optimistic, Romeo. What did you think?
The booking wrote itself. It was there. This was a time to do a title switch. It was especially on Raw when I imagine when Austin Theory went home just last night, whatever, where on the plane, he looks at his phone. It's like, it's giving him a warning. You need to clear some room for storage, just because he has so many pictures of bum ass Corbin. No, bum ass Ali. Always being. He's got so many pictures with Ali, just down and out. He's got to clear his iPhone for storage. The hometown bug continues. Nobody can win their damn hometown. It was a well-worked match, like you said, in the vacuum. I gave it 3 1/4 too. The STF, it made me think. It made my mind think. Oh, is this a hint or a tease of what's to come this summer? From one John Cena, and Ali, man, he's gonna probably get buried in the background now again. What do you do with him? He's buried. What do you do?
Buried 6 feet under, man. This is poor guy. Brooklyn Blake saying Vince taking it out on Ali for the last Chicago guy that they put the title on. It's true. Negro Buck saying, damn, Sid, and you're the one always telling us to think with our Vince hat on. Yeah, I just did it because I was
Slipped
nah, there's got to be a reason why this man came back to work.
Honestly,
the report was they told him the creative, and that's why he came back on TV. This was the creative. They told you that you wanted to get. Oh, I'm gonna be on TV. I don't care if I lose. That's what you were okay with this.
And that was the thing. Like, he could have won last night, and then they had a rematch tonight. He could have had a 1-day reign.
Yeah,
just get that pop in your hometown. That win, it's something better than nothing at all. Because now you got nothing. Now you got a loss in your hometown.
Yeah, I would have taken a 1-day reign. I would have taken that. I'll settle for that. Deal.
Exactly. That's what I thought. Like, I just thought it was going to be 1 day. I thought that's me thinking with my Vince hat on. That they're just going to give him the hometown pop. And he'll get his little moment. We'll satisfy you. We'll appease you. And then you're going to lose it again the next night to give this.
Zack Ryder had that, right?
Yeah.
1-day reign?
Yep. But
so it's been done before.
Not for
By the way, guys, we got our highest viewership of the review right now. So everyone, make sure you like this video if you haven't already.
Put the thumbs up, share it with your friends, and of course, super chat donations. We always appreciate it. It helps out the channel so much, and it will make sure we highlight and talk about your comment on screen as we get to the main event of Hell in a Cell. And I thought at this point, I was like, this is going to make or break this entire show for me. And it's on a guy with one arm. But oh my, like Romeo said at the beginning, this was the moment that was unforgettable because we get the entrances for both men. Seth Rollins comes out in a polka dot attire, shades of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
I love the slow reveal.
Yes,
like he had the robe
came out
over
with the robe, and then it reveals itself as the Dusty. That was just great work by Seth Rollins here.
Flashback to when he did the Shield cosplay.
Exactly, he's done that in this 1 year already. He's got the Shield troll and the Dusty troll. Then we get Cody Rhodes. He comes out to a huge ovation. He removes his jacket, and my Lord,
and this reveal too.
This was a reveal. The giant purple bruising on his shoulder and arm. This was gruesome. This was not makeup for all the people. Oh, it's a work. It's a work. It's makeup. A makeup would have sweated off. It would have sweated off throughout this match. This did not sweat off. And my, oh my, this just added to what would have already been a great match between these two men, because these two men have
SB3.
delivered two great matches. Yep.
Did you notice when he had the jacket on? Could you see a little bit of the bruising and like you
Yeah.
could see it?
Yeah, I can see it on his
I think when he
chest.
takes it off all the way, it's
Yeah,
like,
when he took it, he took it up. I fucking freaked out. I'm like, holy shit.
I was like, this is real. Oh my god.
and
this
Seth's
hurt me.
reaction.
Yes, it was like,
you idiot.
he's like, oh, I'm about to fuck you up. Oh, yeah. So Rollins comes out. He goes right for the injury, but Rhodes breaks free. He keeps avoiding strikes to the injured right shoulder. He hit the Cody cutter with the right arm, but he hurt himself. Rhodes locked on a figure four leg lock, but Rollins pulls himself to the apron and pulled out a kendo stick from under the ring and attacked Cody's injury. This was when I was just like, oh my god, oh god, you're hurting me. Rollins sent Rhodes into the side of the cage. He rubbed Rhodes' face in the cell. Rhodes fought back, and the fans broke out in a brief Cody chant. We get Rollins regained control after hitting Rhodes with the steel steps. Rollins pulls out a belt. He puts on Cody's jacket and pulls out a yellow polka dot belt that says Visionary, and the fans start singing Seth's theme song. Yeah, Chicago, y'all grind me. Rollins
Jacket looked great on Seth.
Yes, he was loving life. Rollins whips Cody with the belt for a near fall. He pulled out a table to a massive pop because WWE doesn't get this shit. Yes, and I don't care what you say, Romeo. Cody could have pulled out the table with one arm. I don't care. He could have pulled out the table with one arm. Thank you, Rollins. Fucking chant from Chicago. Rollins sets up Cody for a superplex, but Rhodes slips out. He attempts a powerbomb, but the injury prevents that. Rollins took over, places Cody on the table. He goes for a frog splash, but Cody moves out the way, and Seth crashes and burns to a huge pop. Rhodes then pulls out a bull rope from under the ring, shades of his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and we break out into a bull rope match all of a sudden. Rhodes rocks Rollins with a super kick and then cracks him with the cowbell for a 2 count. Rollins uses the rope to pull Cody into the ring post. He finally took off the rope and he pulled out a second table to another big pop. It's like you had 2 table spots and the heel did it both times. Are you fucking kidding me? This company doesn't get it. Why does this company get it?
You got to learn something here.
Oh God. Rhodes attempts a power bomb on the table, but Rollins breaks free. He then hits a running power bomb through the table in the corner on Cody. We get a "This is awesome" chant. Rollins then pulls out a sledgehammer because it's not only about their real father and spiritual father, Dusty Rhodes. It's about their spiritual big brother, Triple H, as well. Rollins teases the pedigree, but Cody reverses and hits. Finally, after 18 months of him teasing it, he finally hit the pedigree for a close near fall. The fans were buzzing after that. Rhodes picks up the sledgehammer, but Rollins ran away. Rhodes chased after him. As they got back into the ring, Rollins hits the stomp for a close 2 count. That's the first time he's hit the stomp in either of their 3 matches. The fans broke out into another "This is awesome" chant. Rhodes avoids another stomp, but Rollins reverses the crossroads into one of his own. He hits the crossroads and then holds on, but then Cody hits a crossroad of his own for another near fall. Rhodes and Rollins fight over the sledgehammer, but Rhodes gets to it first, but he couldn't use it because of the injured arm. Rhodes recovers and then hits 2 crossroads. He drops Seth to a little bit of booze, but instead he picks up the sledgehammer, blasts Rollins with the sledgehammer in the face for the win. My Lord, this was the most emotionally gripping and compelling matchup that I have seen in WWE in well over a decade. I gave this 4 3/4 stars. If it wasn't for Rollins pulling out the table, this would have been an easy 5 for me. If they would have just made the simple little tweak of Rhodes pulling out the table. I think that this was a perfect matchup, but this was one of those matchups for Cody Rhodes. This was a legacy building performance. I know there's people that are like, oh, why would you risk the injury? Why would you do that? You don't want to glorify people working through injury because they don't have to do that. They're risking not being able to pick up their appearance. I understand all of that, and I respect you if you feel that way. But Cody Rhodes deserves some love for fighting through the pain and having that performance. And even more than Cody, Seth Rollins, someone that has gotten a bad rap since 2015 as being an unsafe worker for what happened to Sting, which was a freak accident. And I don't think he should have got the amount of heat that he got for that. Seth Rollins, this is his pain de disgrace. This is his example. This is his masterpiece of how he could say he is one of the best in the world. He went out there with a guy with one arm and had the WWE match of the year, in my opinion, so far of 2022. And back-to-back years, he's put on all-time great trilogies. His trilogy with Edge was the best feud of 2021 for WWE, and this trilogy with Cody Rhodes stands up at it because it not only was a great trilogy with 3 great matches, it puts over Cody Rhodes and makes him the biggest babyface in all of WWE. Even if Cody is out for 5 to 6 to 7 months, he needs to come back and win the Royal Rumble. Don't get this wrong, WWE. You got this wrong to the point that this match is not 5 stars. It's 4 3/4, still an exceptional rating. But get this right. Cody Rhodes needs to win the Royal Rumble and come back and win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I can't praise this match any more than I have. Romeo, what was your thoughts?
I can praise it more. I can praise it more because I'm going 5 stars, baby. 5 stars. And all-time gutsy performance from Cody Rhodes. This is why I said this was unforgettable, because you can never forget this. This was legacy building, career defining. This added so much to someone who's given us so much, Cody's character, especially for WWE casual fans, to see him gut that out. He is the biggest baby face ever on this roster. Fans who've never seen this guy set himself on fire in AEW. He set himself on fire. Of course he was going to go out there and fucking do this match. Of course he was going to endure that pain. His freaking idols, Triple H, who finished a match with a torn quad. Of course he was going to go out there and do this match for the fans. And if you're one of those fans who booed Cody because it's a cool thing to do because you're fickle, you need to apologize. You need to stand up and get on your feet and give this man a standing ovation. This match was intense. It was captivating. It was gripping. You felt the pain that Cody Rhodes was feeling. It was like watching someone injured in a car wreck and you're unable to turn your head. You can't turn your head. You have to watch this. I was amazed and astonished by everything Cody was able to do. And by Seth also, I mean, working and attacking the injury, the kendo stick into the pack. I was like, great near falls at the end, because I had my doubts that Cody would still win after the injury. I could see them saying, all right, Cody's going to be gone anyways, so let's give Seth the win here. I could see a switch. But once Cody worked this match, I was like, would he come back to lose to Seth? I don't know. Like, okay, you're getting the win tonight. All right, I can work through the pain. I'll do it. Seth is an all-time troll, the Trolling Hall of Fame. He is inducted now. The polka dots, the coat, the belt. Love the cowbell from Cody, and yelling very emotionally at Seth, put it on, put it on. The pedigree finally, it's like an ode to Dusty. It was like an ode to Triple H, the sledgehammer. Everything worked. The table thing, I could get over. The table thing. 5 stars. Kudos to both these men. I'll never forget this match. Cody Rhodes for the Rumble. I don't care if you have The Rock and Roman lined up. I don't give a shit. I want Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble more than I want The Rock Roman. And this trilogy, man, wow. This trilogy, wow. Even though it was 3-0, it's the greatest 3-0 like in quite some time. All 3 matches, so much fun to watch. Loved it.
It was like one of those old first round series in the NBA playoffs that went 3-0, but all the games was close. That's what it was with Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Seth, do not succumb to peer pressure. What did you rate this match? What did you think?
Honestly, I was gonna give it. I can give it a 5 stars. I'm not going to solely because I wanted Seth to win. I'm gonna be a hater. I'm gonna give it 4.75 stars because I really wanted Seth to win this. This is before the injury and all that stuff, but that's the mark in me. I can give it 5 because I'm gonna give it 5. I'm gonna straight up give it 5. The reason
No,
being,
don't succumb to the peer pressure. Be petty.
no,
give it 4.75.
No, I'm gonna explain why. The match itself, there was no doubt in my mind these guys were gonna put on a banger. That I didn't really, not to say I didn't care about that, but that was just gonna be a given. The fact that Seth came out as always showing the mind games of being another cerebral assassin, if you will. If you will, coming out in coming out in the dusty, when he took the robe off and I can see the polka dots, I marked the fuck out for that. I love when he just in the matches that don't have much to him and he's cosplaying, wears whatever his attire, and I mark out for that. There was so much behind this. So the reason why I'm giving it the 5 stars is because he was trying his hardest to get into the mind of Cody. On top of Cody already having the fucked up pectoral tear, man, when he took his jacket off, you can see it a little bits and pieces. I'm like, all right. I'm like, oh shit, whatever. He takes it off and you just see the purple from like his chest going down his arm. And it's like, holy shit, these guys aren't going to do as much in this match as you would expect because he's injured. But oh no, they took each other to their limits. And one thing that I do like that you said, SP3, is the fact that since 2015, 2016, Seth has been getting so much backlash for, the Sting injury, the John Cena injury, the Finn Balor injury, like on top of, just him just being Seth and just talking shit, bigging up the company. So he wasn't looked at as like one of the best and the favorites just because of all of these things. But he went out there, worked his ass off. Both of these guys worked their ass off, but he worked his ass off in a safe manner I don't even know if there could be any more injury to this pectoral muscle, like it. I don't know. These guys put on a hell of a match from the psychology to it, to the actual in-ring talent. Like I really can't say, I can't praise it as much without giving it the 5 stars the way I want to. So I will go with 5 stars. The only reason I wouldn't go 5 stars because I wanted Seth to win. Because now Cody, he gets the win, but where do they go from here now? We're gonna have to wait a couple months
to a surgeon.
It goes. Well, technically, yeah.
The operating table.
The operating table. Yeah, that's next on his agenda. But yeah, I got to go with 5 stars. These guys went out there, gave a hell of a match. Man, the crowd was behind it. I can't praise it anymore. Both you guys hit great points. I could only piggyback on what you guys saying. This was an amazing match, an amazing way to close out the show.
The valiant babyface with the hurt shoulder got booed, and the heel who's attacking the injury got cheered and got thank you Rollins shit, and y'all motherfuckers gave it 5 stars.
That's Chicago
for you.
I'm saying that's WWE's fault. That's No,
but Chicago has like some little agenda.
No. You need to listen to the fans, and they did it. They dumbasses did it, and that's why I don't deserve no 5 stars.
5 stars. Get up on your feet and give this man a standing ovation.
No, I'm good. But we do have a super chat donation from Vala B, who says, I didn't see SP3 and Ness give a standing ovation.
You got a super chat for it.
Come on,
you got to do it now.
Do it for Cody. Go ahead, Ness.
I will. You know what? I will do it for Cody. I will do it for Cody. I will do it for Cody because like anybody else, if anybody else would have went out there, they'd be like, oh, it would have been a completely different match, in my opinion. He went out there. He's used to working like that. Being outside of WWE. So that's probably why they're like, you know what? He's like, yo, I'll go out there. I'll work. I'll do the match regardless. And they're pretty much like, Are you sure? And he's like, yeah, just I got to take the time off and recover. I got to take the time off and recover. And on top of the fact he just got back, Vince is like, look, I just gave this motherfucker all his goddamn money. I'm going to get my money's worth out of you. So especially if you're about to take off the next however many months to recover, I'm definitely going to get my money out of you. And, there's no wrong decision in that. He went out there, and if they would have went out there and shit the bed, then this would have been a completely different conversation. But they went out there and basically put on the match of the night.
They did. They put on the best WWE match of the year. This bypassed their match at WrestleMania. This bypassed Becky Lynch and Bianca at WrestleMania. This is the best WWE match of the year. But Cody ain't give me a too sweet. I ain't giving him no goddamn standing ovation. Fuck all that.
I forget about this. How can I forget about that history?
Of course.
I already had to praise him. I already had to praise him enough. I'm sorry. Not.
Can I add a couple more things?
Yeah.
I saw a comment earlier. Glad they didn't go on top of the cell. I was like, I'm sure they wanted to.
They were.
Cody could not climb it.
There was plans. There was plans. For, spots got changed throughout this because we do have a report here from WrestlingNews.co. Rhodes wouldn't have been cleared if it had only suffered a partial tear, but after suffering a complete tear of his pectoral muscle, the reasoning was reportedly that there was no more damage that could have been done to the pectoral muscle, so he was cleared to go at it. The report noted that some planned spots were removed from the bout, including a moonsault from Rhodes onto Rollins. And after the camera stopped rolling, Rhodes took the mic to address the fans in the Allstate Arena, stating that it was solely his decision to step into the ring that night. So there you have it.
Yeah. I do have a few memes here. Let me take this down.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Nick Jackson, for this one. You don't know these people anymore. You've given them everything. Not everything. Not yet. and then there's this meme, and whoever made this is really messed up of you. Cody Rhodes after tearing his back, and then CM Punk after stubbing his. Come on, man.
Y'all are horrible.
Come on, man.
CM Punk's got a broken foot. CM Punk's got a broken foot.
Stubbing his toe.
I think I know who might have made that meme. You guys probably know who it was too.
Y'all are ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen. But yes, yes. Man, no. This was a
another thing
match.
I know MJF Wardlow was a hell of a feud too, but I gotta say this is the feud of the year so far.
No,
just because on the matches alone.
MJF CM Punk. I still give it to MJ. I still give because this had the matches. But the promos, the angles, I would say they only had one angle that was like memorable, and that was the pull apart brawl on Monday. I will remember the first exchange between CM Punk and MJF. I will remember CM Punk's promo challenging him for the dog collar match. I will remember MJF's Syndrome promo. I will remember their match in Chicago. I will remember the dog collar match and the Wardlow babyface turn more than I will any of the angles and promos Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins did. That's why I always specify with these things, and I don't go into hyperbole. This is not the best feud in wrestling of the year. This is the best WWE feud of the year, for sure.
All right. Well, MJF and Punk might add another one to that this year. We'll see.
Exactly. The feud is not over. Yeah. They're 1-1 or 2-1 if you listen to MJF. 2-1 in favor of MJF, and we don't know if it's over yet. This feud should be over. Because it's 3-0. It's 3-0 in Cody's favor. It's over. It should be over. If it happens again, then you are going into WWE.
After Cody's champion, you could do it again.
Yeah, and even then, I'm just going to be like, oh, really? This is the first feud you're going to do for Cody as champion? But, hey, there we are. I guess DJ Eric didn't like me. CSP3 just
gotta know the backstory. Gotta know the backstory.
Exactly. I let people know all the time. I'm just saying. Christopher Ryan Cooper said, just think how Cody would have been booed or fuck Cody chants if he didn't go all out there, because those Chicago fans are fickle. They probably would have thought it was a work. Yeah, it's Chicago. Chicago for sure. We also got Frantic World, who says the best feud, it's MJF versus TK. That's the best feud of the year for
Also for
him.
consideration.
Absolutely.
We're just getting started on that.
Christopher Ryan Cooper says if Cody would have got the table, SP3 would have agreed with you, Romeo. Yes, that's simple. That's simple. I'm sorry. 5 stars means perfect match. Don't listen to Dave Meltzer with 5.5, 6 stars, 7 stars. 5 stars means a perfect match. A perfect match does not have the heel who is beating on someone's legitimate injury get a thank you Rollins chant. That is not 5 stars. That's 4 3/4. That's just a smidge below 5 stars. It's a smidge
5
below
stars, perfect. I'll never forget this.
It's not perfect.
Never.
Just because you don't forget it, that makes it 4 stars. Actually, that's anything 4 stars and above. You remember? Yes, that's the rule.
5 stars. I haven't felt this way. This match hasn't made me feel the way I felt since Charlotte won the Royal Rumble.
Here we go.
I haven't felt that way.
I knew he was going to say some Charlotte shit. But yes, that brings us to a close on Hell in a Cell, or Hell in a Cell 2022. Let us know in the live chat who was your match of the night. Who was your MVP, LVP? Thumbs up, thumbs down, and out of 10, what did you give the show? And last call for super chat donations if you want to help out the channel so much. So let's put our thumbs in the middle first, guys, for WWE Hell in a Cell 2022. In 3, 2, 1. The bookmark pay-per-views, man. Bookmark premium live events. Always get a thumbs up from me because that's what WWE does best. Out of 10, Ness, what did you give the show?
I give it a 7 out of 10. Happy Corbin. I could have did it without Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss and almost showing that he's not really that great of a fucking big giant, But it was good for Bobby Lashley, get that love from Chicago. But those 2 matches I could have did without. But everything else on the card was good.
Romeo,
I gave it a 7 as well. The opening match, the ending match, everything else was kind of there besides the mixed tag. Yeah, 7 and a 5-star match. That bumps it up.
4 3/4. I gave it the same rating I gave last week for Double or Nothing. I gave it a 7.5. I gotta give it a 7.5 as well. This met my expectations and exceeded it with the main event being the WWE match of the year. So yeah, I gave it 7.5. I gave it the same rating as Double or Nothing, and it was in half the time. So that's also a thumbs up in my opinion.
Against an NBA Finals game.
Against an NBA Finals game, Tony. Just saying. Romeo, who was your MVP? Is it obvious?
You think of all-time legendary, gutsy performances. I think of Mankind and Hell in a Cell against The Undertaker. I saw Dave Meltzer mention Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 19, wrestling with a broken freaking neck. That was stupid. But he did it. He could definitely have gotten more hurt with that. Definitely. He could have been paralyzed.
Especially what Lesnar did in that match.
Oh my God. This goes up there. This goes up there as far as gutsy performances. Like, it's right up there. It's on top 10, top 5. Cody Rhodes. But kudos to Seth Rollins too. I mean, he deserves so much credit, like we've already given him.
I'm going with Cody Rhodes.
It's going to be unanimous.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes deserves the MVP of this show. Match of the night, I think we're all going to say the main event, right?
Yeah.
Main event, yeah.
I saw some people still giving it to the women's match, and I mean, it was good, but
if those guys didn't deliver the way that they did, it would have went to the women's match.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, that was a great match as well. But also, to be fair, people tend to give the woman a bump up. Because I saw people giving Becky and Bianca, and I love that match at WrestleMania, but saying that was way better than Cody and Seth, and it wasn't way better. I gave both of those matches 4.5 stars. Those were great, both back to back, great matches. But people tend to give the women a bump. I'm just saying. LVP, I'm gonna have to go with Ezekiel. Poor Ezekiel. Zeke, your LVP. And that's
damn. I was going to say MVP. And Omos, because how the fuck do you lose a handicap match against one guy, especially when your guy's fucking 7 foot tall?
Yeah, I'm going Omos MVP. Losing a handicap match.
That is fair, but he did get help from Cedric Alexander. Hurt Business still alive,
also,
y'all.
I mentioned
Still alive.
an honorable mention. Fucking Cedric Alexander's an LVP too.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
because you do all that, you get this by MVP before the match, you get this by Lashley after the match. So you did all that. Oh, I did it for myself. Nobody asked you to do shit. Nobody asked you for this.
Nobody asked you for this, dog. What you doing?
Nobody asked you for that at all.
By the way, I asked you guys in the chat, what does Hell in a Cell get? 55% of you say 7, 36% say 8, and 9% say a 0 to 6.
I'm glad no one went into hyperbole like Ness and Romeo with their ratings for the show overall. I appreciate that. I appreciate our viewers and subscribers. I love you all of y'all. No, but y'all went into hyperbole on the main event.
It's because of the 5 star.
Yes, but that brings us to a close on our WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 Roundtable review. Ness, please let the people know where they can find you on social media and when you'll be back on here next.
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, skinny__Kravitz, and right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel every Tuesday. Myself, Chris G, Romeo Anthony Cologne, we go live watching NXT 2.0, excuse me. NX3 is our show. This Thursday, I'll be going live for a watch along, Blunt Impact. Hopefully, I'll be coming back on more roundtables. This is a lot of fun. I haven't been on a roundtable in quite some time, but yeah. Love it being here with my good brothers of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and being with you guys that join us in the chat and watching along.
Always. Romeo?
That's you're on vacation. I would love to see you later on tonight. This is
going
to be an interesting Raw. This is going to be an interesting Raw to watch to see what they set up that's new, what they continue to all our groans. I think Cody's going to deliver one of his fantastic, great Cody promos he always does. Explaining why he did that match and what now he's got to go away for a little bit. Join us for Rated Raw Superstars tonight. Should be interesting no matter what. You can follow me, True Hill Romeo, on Twitter and Instagram, right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Also, NX3. We got NXT on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Dynamite watch alongs, and True Rewind over on the Fightful Overbooked YouTube channel. A new episode just went up today, True Rewind 78. Please go watch that. Please go thumbs it up. Show your support for us on Fightful's Overbooked YouTube channel. We appreciate it.
Yes, it helps us out so much. Show your support. Check out True Rewind episode 78, and you can see me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. I'll be back on YouTube twice today on the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast YouTube channel with myself and Rick covering a little bit from Hell in a Cell, and then I'll be live with Alex McCarthy and Sati Nyangi over on the Inside the Ropes Clips channel for the debut episode of Monday Night Live with the Daily Boys. We're going to be talking about Hell in a Cell. We're going to be talking about In Your House, talking about the weekend for professional wrestling, CM Punk's injury, the interim AEW World Championship, plus much more. And of course, follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. If you want to be an even bigger supporter, $3 a month, be a part of our prediction championship, be a part of our reviews of New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're going to have up later today the review for nights 10 through 12 of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament, as well as myself and Jay News later on this week. We're going to be dropping the Best of Super Juniors 29 finals review. And then on Friday, me and Jay News will be up on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel with our New Japan Pro Wrestling Dominion 2022 preview and predictions. So check out all that great content, patreon.com/True Hill Heat, and then here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. And of course, if you want to wear what the True Hill Heat gang wears, prowrestlingtees.com/True Heels. And of course, like this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. For Ness, For Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 Roundtable Review. We are signing off until next time.
5 stars. 5 stars.